Enrolled in a security compliance course, in your security compliance course. Okay, great. I had to pause the course as I've been working on a double master's in cybersecurity and cyber intelligence. That's good. Cyber intelligence is definitely growing fast, by the way. Master's degree, great for managers in particular. I have an assignment and I need some direction around the research. I am excited to do the research, but I am a bit insecure on where to begin when it comes to researching a company and if companies are willing to offer breach information. Okay, I can help you out with this for sure. I have listed a few instructions below and a few requirements in the area regarding breach categories. Yeah, I could definitely help you with this. And they said, where would I begin to look for 5 companies where I would look at breach information? I must research various companies and the type of breach and categories. Okay, so what I would recommend to you if you're doing research for your master's degree, things like that, Lori, what I would recommend is to, I hope you see this. I will definitely send part of this out to you. But what I would recommend is what you could do is look at any kind of local agencies that you're working with. I mean, I doubt they're going to give you their information because that's kind of proprietary information. You're talking about IP addresses and things like this. So it's very sensitive information. I mean, unless it's like your church or something, like a place that really trusts you, or I just don't see them allowing people to access their breach information. But what you could do is look at breach information that's already out there. Let me show you what I mean by that. So this is information that many organizations use around the world because the breach information is very useful. So all I did was I went to Google, I put breach reports. There's several large organizations who do the work for you. They've already done the footwork. And what they do is they take a sample size of some of their clients. IBM Security, for example, has a bunch of clients that they provide security services to. And then there's a breach report that they have. They anonymize the information, so they're not giving away information to banks, fintech, and hospitals and things like that. They anonymize it and say, and they're just interested in statistics. What types of breaches for what type of industry, what types of attacks are happening. This is really good information for cyber. This is basically cyber intelligence 101. But a lot of these organizations put out these breach reports, and they do it for every year, and they're hoping to become like the premier data breach report for the world. What you would do is you just fill this out, right? You fill it out, they'll put you on their newsletter or whatever. Then they'll allow you to download the report. This breach report, by the way, has all many of the details you're asking for here. You said you're looking for take the 10 cases per team and organize them by the breach category. Yeah, so some of the breach categories you mentioned here, they actually address physical security, unintentional disclosure, hacking. Yeah, some of the things that you're mentioning here, they mention in these breach reports. And you don't have to use just one, by the way. This is just one from IBM Security that they release for the community. They release it to share that information so that it's kind of a way to try to keep ahead of the attacks that are out there in the wild, to say, hey, we have had 50% increase in phishing attacks in hotel restaurant management. We have had an increase of malware attacks on VPNs since the start of 2020 or whatever. And normally these breaches are done a year later. Like this 2020 report right here was done. This is data from previous year. Right, so this is great information to put in your research. And I wouldn't use just one, by the way. If they allow you to use this breach information, here's one from Verizon. There's one from SANS. There's one from, there's all kinds of organizations that put these out. Reputable organizations as well as Breach Report. There's international ones that focus on just certain fields, certain industries. And these breach reports have great information. It's already organized for you. I would use this breach information. If you can get, of course, better information would be just raw information. You just go out and grab it from organizations who would allow you to have their breach information. But I just doubt, unless you're in a trusted position, they're going to give you their breach information, because you could essentially use that against them. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times they'll get a breach and then they're trying to fix it. It's like trying to put out a fire, but they have to have funding to take care of things like that. So that's that. So I hope that helps you out, Lori. If you're watching this, I really hope that helps you, and feel free to contact me. I will email you back